Are you coming off the cloud yet?
Yes.
What do you see below you? First thing that you see.
It's like desert.
Look around you.
The sun is about to go down. It's a desert. Empty.
Is there anything on the desert? I want you to walk forward on the desert and describe what you see.
Just hills of sand. Inside starts to get dark, sun setting down.
Is there anybody else around you?
There's nobody.
I want you to look at your body. Do you have a body?
Yes.
Do you have, look at your feet.
They're big. They're big.
Describe them.
They are a man's feet wearing sandals.
Are you young or old?
I feel like I'm about 30.
And do you feel healthy?
I believe so.
Okay. And what are you wearing on your body?
Kind of like a long dress or tonic.
What is it made of? Do you know?
It's like a cotton, maybe?
Cotton?
It's soft, but it's light cotton.
Are you wearing anything on your head?
Yes, a cloth that's wrapped around the head.
And are you holding anything?
There's nothing on my hands.
I want you to walk forward. Is there anything else around you?
There's nothing under me, but there's sort of palm trees for shelter.
There's palm trees. I want you to go up to the palm trees. Describe the trees.
They're short, like a stubby palm trees, just for shade. It's like a place to rest. I see things around it.
What's around it?
It's like there's like a container that has a handle on it that's placed on the side of the tree. It's like simple little things for travel.
And pick that up. And what's inside the container?
The small round container that's by the tree.
Is there anything inside the container?
It has a liquid on it, but there's something else in it as well.
What's inside it?
It's a dark liquid with herbs, I think.
What is it for? Can you pour it out and see what is in it?
It's like oil with herbs on it.
Oil, herb. Is there anything else around you underneath this palm tree?
Just random things.
Like what?
There's like a bag, like a satchel, like made of cloth.
Okay. What's inside the satchel?
A book.
Pick out the book. What does it say?
There's nothing. There's no writing in the front or the back.
Open the book. Is there anything inside the book?
Less writing, but
What else is in the bag?
that's it.
Is there anything else around you? Are you completely alone?
I'm alone.
I want you to move forward and see if do you know where you live?
Far away.
Far away? Okay. I want you to move forward to a very important time in this life. One that changes your life. What do you see?
Like a town square.
Describe it.
There's lots of people. Buildings made of stone or sand.
Okay. And what are the people wearing?
They have the same cloth on the head and outfit.
And how are they getting around?
Everybody's walking.
Okay. Do you see any animals?
Camel.
You see camel. And what's happening to the camel?
Carrying people's stuff.
Carrying people's stuff. And as you're walking through the town, describe what you see.
People going around, people walking here and there, going with their business.
Okay. And where are you going?
I'm just walking, looking around.
I want you to go to the place where you live. Can you find that?
Yes.
Describe the place where you live.
It's the same thing that it's made of sand still. It's a small place.
What's on the outside?
More desert and buildings.
Okay. Go inside of your home and describe what you see inside.
It's just a small shelter.
Do you see anybody in there?
No.
I want you to sit down for a meal. Is there any food in the house?
Yes.
What are you eating?
Bread.
You eating bread? And is there anything else?
It looks like some form of a cheese.
Cheese. Mm-hmm. And what do you do all day?
It's like a hunter.
You're a hunter? What do you hunt?
Food.
You hunt for food? And where do you hunt for food?
Desert.
And what kind of food do you find in the desert?
Animals that's in the desert.
What kind of animals are in the desert to eat?
Sometimes it's like a little thing that buries itself. It's hard to catch.
Okay. And you catch it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I want you to move forward to another very important day. A day that you consider to be very important where something happens to you. You've moved forward to that important day. What is happening? Do you see it? Remember, you're in the white pyramid of light and nothing can harm you. You can explore anything.
It's dark.
Do you see anything around you?
Just like fire on lights. lights on town square. It's dark, nighttime.
Do you see anybody else around you?
Just people going by their business.
And what are you doing?
Just walking outside, enjoying the night.
Is there anybody else with you?
No, I'm all alone.
And where are you going?
Just exploring the desert while at night.
Are you trying to find something?
No.
I want you to move forward to the very last day of your life in this life. On your last day, what is happening?
I'm in my house.
You're in your house? And are you with anybody else?
I see two people.
Describe the two people.
It feels like they're friends. They're there to help me.
And what is it? A man or a woman?
Man, both men.
Both men?
They seem they're both younger.
The young men?
Yes.
And what are they doing to you?
They're looking after me.
And why are they looking after you?
Sick.
And what are you sick of?
Tired. Old age.
Old age. And what did you do? How did you meet these men?
Just young kids. Learn to hunt.
They learned to hunt from you?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anybody else in the home?
There is a woman.
Describe the woman. Is she young or old?
She's not really old, but she's probably 50s, early 50s.
And what is her relation to you?
Neighbor.
She's a neighbor? And what's the relationship to you of the two young men?
Apprentices.
They're apprentices? And you're teaching them how to hunt?
Yes.
And the neighbor woman, what's her relation to the two young boys?
Sons.
They're her sons? And what does she do all day?
Just stay home.
You stay home? And so they're there to help you. How are they helping you?
They're caring for me, bringing me food.
They care for you?
Okay. Help me around the house.
Now whatever happened has already happened, and you're on the other side of it. As you look at this life, what did you learn from it?
Simple. Predictable.
What do you think was the purpose of living alone and being a lone hunter?
You can do whatever you want. No obligations.
No obligations.
No connections.
No connections to people.
Freedom.
Freedom. Now that you have died, you're on the spirit side. You can go into the spirit world and explore it, or you can go back on the cloud and go anywhere forward or backwards to another time. Are you coming off the cloud yet?
Yes.
What do you see below you?
Ocean.
You see ocean. Is there anything around the ocean?
No, I'm in the ocean.
You're in the ocean. And do you have a body?
Yes.
Are you a man or a woman?
Man.
You're a man. Are you young or old?
Young.
Young. Are you healthy?
Yes.
And what are you wearing on your body? Are you wearing anything?
A shirt and a short.
Shirt and shorts? Are you holding on to anything?
No.
Is there anything on your head?
Nothing.
And what are you doing in the water?
Fell.
You fell in the water?
Yes.
Where did you fall from?
Boat.
You fell from a boat? Describe the boat you fell from.
It's a big boat. Like a big ship.
Did it have a lot of people on it?
Yes.
And what were the people doing?
Passengers.
And where are they going?
Faraway land.
And why are they going to a faraway land?
I do not know.
What is happening to you in the water?
Just trying to stay afloat.
Are you swimming anywhere?
I'm trying to catch up to the boat.
And where is the boat?
It's far away.
And is there anybody else around you?
No.
You by yourself. What's happening next?
I swam.
I swam. I want you to move forward to an important day, one that you consider to be important, when something's happening. What is happening?
Wedding.
What do you see in the wedding?
Lots of people wearing white.
And whose wedding is it?
Mine.
Okay. And what are you wearing?
White tuxedo.
You're wearing a white tuxedo? And describe the wedding.
It was happy wedding. People were happy.
You were happy?
Cheering.
And who is there?
Friends. Families.
Okay. And who are you getting married to?
This lady. Very pretty.
And what is she wearing?
She has a veil on her head. And a gown. White gown. Lacy gown.
Okay. And then what is happening?
We are walking towards the garden and lots of people.
And then what happens?
Dancing. Dancing with my bride.
Dancing with your bride? How did you meet her?
Work.
What do you do for work?
Farm.
You're a farmer?
Olives. Grapes. Grapes.
You farm grapes? And what do you make with the grapes?
Wine.
You make wine? And do you have any family members that help you?
Father's vineyard.
Mother's vineyard?
Father.
Your father's vineyard. Do you live with anybody in the vineyard?
Wife.
You live with your wife? I want you to walk to your home. Describe your home.
It's made of stone with arched door.
Arched door. And what's inside the home?
It's kitchen.
Kitchen? I want you to go into the kitchen and sit down. What's happening inside the home?
Wife putting food on the table.
And what is she preparing to eat?
Some grapes. Salads. There's bread.
Is there anybody else in the home with you?
Just the wife.
Just the wife? I want you to move forward to another very important day in this life. One that changes your life. What do you see?
Baby.
Is the baby a boy or a girl?
Boy.
The boy? And what's happening?
Newborn. Wife have a baby. Boy.
The baby boy? And how do you feel about the baby boy?
Very happy.
You're very happy? And who else is in the house with you?
Family.
Your family? Whose family?
Mine.
Your family?
Father and mother's there.
Your father and mother's there?
Yes.
And I want you to move forward to another very important day in your life. One that changes your life. What do you see?
Car.
Describe it.
Big old car.
And whose car is it?
That's mine.
It's yours. And where do you drive it?
To town.
What do you do in town?
Buy stuff for the vineyard.
Okay. And how is the vineyard doing?
It's doing good. Father's happy.
Your father's happy? Do your father and your mother live with you?
They own the vineyard. I have a house in the vineyard.
Okay. And what is your father and mother like?
Mother is kind.
Okay. What's the father like?
Quiet. Disciplined.
I want you to move forward to the very last day of your life. And on your last day of your life, what do you see?
Children.
How many children?
2.
Who are their parents?
My son.
You have 2 sons?
I have 1 son.
And who's the other children?
Grandkids.
And whose grandkids are there?
Are my grandkids. Boy and a girl.
So you have a boy and a girl with grandkids?
Yes. The girl is older. She's 8. Boy is 6 years old.
Okay. And what is happening?
They're visiting me.
They're visiting you? And what's happening to you?
Bedridden.
You bedridden? Are you sick?
Yes.
Okay. What's happened has already happened. And you're on the other side of it. As you look at that life, what did you learn from it?
Hard work.
Hard work?
Happy life.
What do you think was the purpose of the lifetime?
To live a happy but hard-working life, no matter what happens.
To live a happy and hardworking life no matter what happens. Okay. Now, we're going to leave that person there to carry on their life. We're going to get back on the cloud and drift away to another time. It can be forward or backwards, or you can go to the spirit world and explore that. Are you coming off the cloud? Remember, you're in the pyramid of white light, and nothing can harm you. You can explore anything. And the cloud is slowing down and stopping at another appropriate time and place that provides information to help you. What do you see below you?
Grass.
Describe the grass.
Thick green.
And what's around the grass?
Playground. Playground.
You say playground? And is there anybody in the playground?
Kids. Little kids.
Little kids? Or do you have a body?
Yes.
Are you a boy or girl? Are you young or old?
Young.
What are you wearing on your body?
A shirt and like a long pants.
Shirt and long pants? What are you wearing on your feet? Are you wearing anything?
Yes. Shoes.
Wearing shoes? Are you wearing anything on your head?
Yes, like a bowl cap.
A ball cap. Okay. Are you a boy or girl?
I think I'm a boy.
You're a boy. And what are you doing in the playground?
Watching my kids.
You watching your kids?
Yes.
And how many kids do you have?
2.
And how old are they?
1 is 2. 1 is 5.
1, 2, 1 is 5. And what else is going on in the playground?
Just watching them having fun.
Was them having fun? Okay. I want you to walk towards your home. Do you see where you live?
Yes.
Describe what's outside of it.
It's a red house with white trimmings on it. It's connected with other houses.
And I want you to walk inside the house. Describe what's inside the house.
Living room.
What do you see inside the house?
A couch on one side, the left side. It's a small house. Small living room.
Is there anybody else in the house with you?
A woman.
And what's her relation to you?
Wife.
She's your wife. And what is she doing?
She's in the kitchen making food.
What is she making?
Pie.
She's making pie?
Yes.
Okay. And where are the kids?
Playground.
They're still in the playground? And I want you to sit down and eat a meal. What are you eating?
Chicken. Potatoes. Green beans. Carrots.
And what do you do all day?
I work with electrician.
You're an electrician?
I see a van.
You see a van?
Yes.
Is there anything on the van?
My van for work. I'm an electrician.
Is there a name on the van?
No, it's no writing.
And I want you to move forward to an important day in this life. One that changes your life. What do you see?
House burned down.
Why did the house burn down?
We don't know. It burned down.
Where is everyone?
Outside. We're watching the house burn.
And what's going on? Is there anybody else there besides you and your family?
Our neighbors.
Your neighbors?
A few houses burned down.
A couple houses burned down.
Yes.
Do you know the cause of the neighborhood fire?
A gas leak.
It was a gas leak. And describe what's happening to the people.
Sad. Crying. Felt be alone. No home.
No.
Homeless.
I want you to move forward again to another very important day in this life. One that changes your life. What is happening?
Wife left.
Where did she go?
She took my kids away.
Why did she leave with the kids?
Can't stay. Hard life.
Why can't she stay?
She's tired of living a hard life.
Do you know where she went?
No, she just went away with the kids.
And where are you?
Alone. Lost.
Where are you living?
Streets.
You live on the streets? And what is happening on the streets?
Chaos. Uncertainty.
Okay. Is there anybody else around you?
Lots of people walking. Passing.
What city are you in?
Says Dallas.
Dallas?
Yes.
Dallas in what country?
Texas.
Texas. And I want you to move forward to the very last day of your life. What do you see?
Hospital.
Describe the hospital.
I'm in the room. White room. A small room.
Are you by yourself?
Nurse. There's a nurse.
There's a nurse. What is she wearing?
She have a sort of a cap on her head.
Does it have any symbols on it?
Yes, a red circle with white cross in the middle.
Okay. And what's happening to you?
Pneumonia.
Okay. And then what happens?
I died.
What do you think was the purpose of this life?
Loss.
Loss?
Loss of home. Loss of loved ones.
Was there anything that he could have done differently?
Tried harder.
Tried harder? What's happened has already happened, and you're on the other side of it now. You can go to the spirit world, or you can go back in the cloud. Now let's get back in the cloud and leave this scene, and leave that person to continue their path, and bring forward the subconscious. May I speak to Cheryl's subconscious, please?
Yes.
Do I have permission to speak to her subconscious?
Yes.
I respect the power of the subconscious because I know the subconscious takes care of her body and does a very good job of it. I also know that the subconscious has records of everything that's ever happened to Cheryl in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes she has ever lived. So I respect the power of the subconscious, and I always ask permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permission to ask questions?
Yes, you may.
I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for her to see. You chose to bring forward the first lifetime where she was a tall man living in a desert community. And she never got married, but she did have 2 neighbor boys be her apprentice. And she died alone in the presence of her neighbor and her 2 children. What was the purpose of that? Why did you pick that lifetime?
no family, but have a community as a family.
The purpose was to show her that community can be her family.
Yes.
You also chose to bring forward another lifetime where she was a man that as a young boy fell off a boat and then got married, and she had a good life as a winemaker whose business was to grow grapes and make wine on his parents' property where his house was. He had a son and also had some grandchildren. What was the purpose of the winemaker life? Why did you pick that lifetime for her to see?
To experience a normal human life with family, surrounded by loving family, sustainable life, and peace.
You also chose to bring forward for her to see another lifetime where she was a man who was an electrician. He was married with 2 kids, and the house burned down because of a gas leak in the neighborhood. As a result, he had a tough life, and his wife took the kids and left him. And he ended up being homeless in Dallas, Texas, and died alone in a hospital. What was the purpose of seeing that lifetime?
To experience happiness and loss in the same lifetime.
To experience happiness and loss in the same lifetime.
Yes.
And what is the significance of happiness and loss at the same lifetime?
There is no guarantee in life. There is happiness, but there is also loss. Because in a world of duality, there's always happiness and loss. But you need to find balance.
Could she have done something different to balance that life and have a different outcome?
No.
No.
It needs to happen for the soul to learn.
Could she have done anything different with the other lifetimes that we saw?
Those lifetimes need to happen. It's a learning experience for the soul, for what she came here to do.
And what did she come here to do?
To be open.
To be open to what?
To learn.
To learn and grow?
Yes, to learn and grow. To learn experiences.
And can she change her experiences?
She has the power to.
She has the power to change her experiences. She has some questions for you about the current life that she's living now. And the first question she has is about her parents. Her mother and her father, she says that they're like fire and ice. And her mother is a very toxic personality in her life. Why did she choose to have such a toxic mother?
It's the contrast, the experience of what it's like to have someone superior, to experience this lifetime. Somebody who does not give regard, who is selfish of themselves.
So she's supposed to learn from having a mother that is selfish and has no regard for other people.
In such a way, yes.
In such a way. And what can she do with that information?
She needs to learn how to stand for herself, to fight for what is right for her.
She also feels with her ex-husband that she got into an arranged marriage and got married to him. She wants to know what is the connection between her and her ex-husband.
It's a past life contract.
To pacify a contract?
A past life contract.
And what is the past life contract?
She did this to someone else in the past life, forcing someone to marry somebody they don't love.
And who did she force to get married to someone that they did not love in another lifetime?
A family member.
Was it her children?
No.
Who is the family member?
A niece.
A niece? And what happened in that lifetime?
Married the niece to a rich man.
And what happened to the family as a result?
Unhappy.
She was unhappy? And what happened to you?
Sad.
You were sad? So she married off her niece to a rich man for money, but you were sad. Is that niece anybody in her life now?
Daughter.
The niece is her daughter.
Yes.
And so she got into an arranged marriage in order to know what it feels like to be in a loveless marriage.
Yes.
Has that karma been balanced out?
She has learned to see what the lesson is.
She's learned the lesson.
Therefore, the contract is over. It's done.
Okay. The contract is over. Now she does have a question about her daughter. And now that we know that the niece is her daughter in this lifetime, is that the cause of the strain in their relationship?
Yes.
And how can she work on building a closer relationship with her daughter in this life?
By not dictating or putting their agenda on anybody else's.
Is the reason why her mother in this lifetime is so forceful and selfish for her to understand how she was to other people in other lifetimes?
Yes.
So she was like this in other lifetimes to other people in her life.
Yes.
How can she support her daughter so that she can be happy and successful without forcing any agendas?
Learn to love, but not control or dictate, for each one has its own path to take.
And she also has questions about her current boyfriend. They've been together for almost a decade, and he has an 18-year-old son that comes to visit. But she gets anxiety around her stepson. So how can she be more approachable with him?
You have to let go of what happened in the past in order to move on. Your relationship with your stepson is important. You have to let go of what happened in the past so you can move on.
And what exactly does she have to let go of the past?
Conflict, relationship with the family. Release and let go. That's the only way to move on.
And she also says that his family blames her for not moving back to where they are. What do you have to tell her about that and how to handle that relationship?
They are dependent of him. He is the pillar of light for them.
And how is he the pillar of light for them?
He is the hope for the family. He is a light being. He is hope to his family. By him moving away is taking the light away.
What do you recommend that she do to make amends to his family about losing him?
There is nothing else she could do. Reaching out will not suffice. The family wants the light back.
And what can her boyfriend do to make amends with his family?
Just be in the present.
Will his family accept their relationship?
Eventually,
Eventually.
but not soon enough.
Soon enough for what?
Not soon enough to make. Not soon enough.
Not soon enough. Should she and him get married? Would that help make amends and help them to accept her in his life?
It's not going to happen.
Why is it not going to happen?
Too much conflict.
Too much conflict? What recommendation do you have for her about this relationship?
Stay and be happy.
To stay in the relationship and be happy?
Stay, be happy. Learn from what you have learned and keep learning and what needs to be done.
She feels judgment from his family. What can she do to feel less anxiety and judgment in that situation?
Let go. It does not matter at this time. What matters is you see the lessons that's been brought up to you.
And she also says that people don't see her as approachable, even though she says she tries. What recommendations do you have for her to be more approachable to people?
Open up your heart. Don't block it. By reaching out with your heart, then people will come. Good people will come.
And she also has concern for her cousin, because her cousin feels overwhelmed by helping family in the Philippines financially. What can she do to help her cousin set boundaries?
Be there on the dark times.
Be there in a dark time.
Be there for support, because it is her journey that she needs to learn, like you did.
And she says that a lot of her insecurity comes from having a toxic, hypercritical, narcissistic mom. She was very hurt when her mother told her that when she was sick, that maybe she should roll her into the grave. How can she deal with her mother's impulsive negativity?
You need to speak up. You need to tell them that you are hurting, and therefore they need to stop. You need to speak up. You need to talk about this feeling so you could let go of them easily. By talking, therefore you can let go of the pain.
She is 42, 43 years old, and she realizes that she still has anger as a girl for having a childhood that was abusive emotionally and physically by her mother, which she's carried on to her life now and in all the decisions and the ways that she reacts to people. How can she let that go?
Self-healing. Be with oneness. Forgive and heal. To forgive and heal.
Her mother just went through cancer, and for a little while during the cancer treatment, she was much kinder to her family. But now that the cancer treatment is nearing an end, she's resorting back to her critical negativity towards her family. What recommendations do you have for her in working with her mother at this time?
Patience. Be patient, for she is unraveling her own path. You cannot interfere. Just be patient. It will unfold itself.
You won't be patient. She says that sometimes her toxic mother is trying to make up for her childhood. Is that the case?
Her mother loves her. She just has a different way of showing it.
And what kind of way does she show it?
By buying her certain things, offering help, offering different type of help.
And what type of help does her mother offer her that's different?
Monetary, financial. Even though if she doesn't need it or she needs it, she tries not to accept.
Should she accept them?
She can accept them to help her mother feel that she did something right. But eventually, she needs to forgive and to heal.
So why is she continuing to have such a tough time forgiving her mom for a tough childhood?
She felt unloved for a very long time.
She felt unloved for a long time?
Especially if she wants it from a mother. And feeling unloved, uncared for a very long time.
And how can she accept and heal the little girl that felt unloved by her mom for a very long time in order to have a more harmonious relationship with her mom moving forward?
She needs to sit down with her mother and tell her of the things that hurt her so much. That's the only way to heal. You cannot keep all this inside of you. You will not move on if you don't forgive.
And she's also curious if she has any past life connection with her mom.
Yes.
And what lifetime did she share with her mom?
An overbearing husband.
Who is the overbearing husband?
A man who controls, who hurts.
Was she the wife?
Yes.
And her mom was the overbearing, abusive husband?
Yes.
And what happened in that lifetime?
Living in fear.
Living in fear. And so she's carrying on that relationship in this lifetime, the same emotion?
In a way, yes.
How can she heal that lifetime now?
She needs to put a stop of the abuse. She needs to put a stop of the abuse.
And she also has a stepdad. Does she have any past lives of her stepdad?
Stepdad.
Isaiah. She has a couple pains in her body. She has a knee pain and a back pain and skin rashes. And she says it came from a work injury. Is there more to the pain? Does it mean anything else?
She carried too much load. She needs to not carry so much responsibility. Like responsibility that is not her own. She needs to unload the weight.
And who should she unload the weight to?
Let go of the weight. It doesn't serve you any good. It doesn't serve your higher purpose.
And is she responsible for taking care of her mother?
That is something she needs to do.
That is something that she needs to do. And how can she take care of her mother and father, but still not take on too much responsibility by herself?
You need to share the load with others. For you are not a superhuman being. You need to share the load with your sisters. They are there to help. Ask for the help. They are ready to help when you ask.
So her sisters will help her with her overbearing mother and her dad as well as they age.
Yes. You have been given sisters that are kind and are there to help you. Utilize that so you won't be so burdened with weight and responsibility.
And she really loves her boyfriend. They've been together a very long time. Now that the kids are grown and it's just her and her boyfriend, what can she do to strengthen her relationship with her boyfriend?
Be more kind to him and to yourself. Be more loving. He is there to guide you. Be more kind and patient. He is brought to your life to guide you.
She also has a very stressful environment, and she has some toxic work relationships and peers that she doesn't really trust sometimes. What recommendations do you have for her so that she can have a more beneficial and happy work environment?
Leave the toxic environment. Look for other avenues to earn your income.
So she should look, and what areas should she look for alternate income so that she can move on?
Other jobs are available.
There are other jobs out there
waiting for you. All you have to do is to step up. Don't be afraid. You are guided. You are loved. Just trust. It's there. Do not be afraid to let go. We are here to catch you.
And she says that she has a very hard time saying no, and she needs approval. What can you tell her about that?
You do not need approval as you're starting to realize this. You have to live your life in a manner that it's the last day. You have to live it like there's so much possibilities waiting for you.
And then also, she has some other questions. She would like to know if she's going to be okay and happy.
Everything's gonna work itself out. You have to trust the process. Every time there is a down, there is always up. Never lose hope. Always have faith. Everything will work out fine.
And what lessons can she learn from these recurring themes in her life?
That you have to be a decent human being. You have to be compassionate. You have to have faith in other people. There are good people out there. You don't have to be not so trusting. You have to open your heart. Let go. Open up the doors of your heart.
And what is her purpose in this life?
To learn the lessons from the past.
And she said that she almost died when she was a baby. Is she supposed to be here?
Yes.
What can she do to fulfill her purpose here in this lifetime?
She needs to be more compassionate.
And how can she be more compassionate to people?
By not judging.
Why is it so hard for her to be around her boyfriend's son, her stepson?
There is some energy around him.
What is the energy?
They're surrounded by energy.
What kind of energy is it?
It does not jive with her energy.
And how can she have a more balanced relationship with him and his energy?
She needs to center herself. She needs to do meditation like she's supposed to do. But she has been slacking. She needs to do more meditation. She needs to center herself so she would not be affected by it, and therefore see the good person behind that energy.
She also asks if you can remove the pain in her body, in her knee, her hip, her shoulders, all the weight that she's been carrying. Can you remove the pains in her body and also the childhood trauma pain that she's been holding on to this whole time?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm working on it.
And also, while you're working on it, she has another last request. There are some people on the spirit world that she would like to connect with again. Can you bring forward her grandmother, Cecilia?
Yes.
She would like to know if Cecilia is okay, if she's happy.
Yes. She's doing very well.
And what message does she have for her and the family?
Love your family. It does not matter what they do. This is their own life to live. We have to accept that and not interfere. We just have to love them.
To love them and allow them to have their journey.
Yes.
Have their falls so they can have their triumphs.
That is right.
And is there any symbol that she sees moving forward that will remind her of Grandma Cecilia is there with her?
Yes. It's the musical instrument.
What instrument?
A big violin.
A violin. Okay. And can Cecilia give her a big hug for doing this?
Yes.
Thank you, Cecilia. She would also like to bring forward Grandpa Virgilio.
Yes.
And she would like to know, is he doing okay and is he happy?
It's with Cecilia, grandmother. They are together and they're happy on the other side.
And what are they doing on the other side?
They are living like they were back on Earth. They're continuing their journey as husband and wife.
Oh, wonderful. And is there any message that he has for her and her family?
Yes, I miss the family. We're watching over you. We're always with you. When you think of us, we are there with you. Do not be sad. We are there with you.
And what symbol that she will see that reminds her of him?
Piano.
The piano. And the last person she wants to bring forward is Grandpa Abdelius.
Yes.
And what does Grandpa Abdelius? Is he doing okay?
He's with Grandma.
Grandma?
And they're happy.
And what message does he have for the family?
Family are in constant trouble. They need to forgive and forget the past in order to move on, to have a better life. Life is very difficult as it is. It needs to forgive the past so the family could come together and move forward.
And what message does he have for Cheryl?
We love you. We're watching over you. Do not fear what's ahead, because we are here with you.
And what symbol will she see that reminds her of Grandpa Abdelius is around her?
Boxing gloves.
Boxing gloves. Thank you for bringing those people forward for her to see and talk to. Can they all give her a big hug?
Yes.
And send her a lot of love for her journey.
So much love for her. She just don't realize it.
And what symbol should she see that reminds her that she is loved all the time?
She sees it all the time. She sees heart everywhere. She do recognize it, but when tough times hits, she tend to forget.
Well, can you give her one last big hug for doing this? Because it took a lot of courage for her to come here today to do this for herself.
Yes, she needs this. We've been pushing for her to do this.
Is there any last messages that she needs to know?
Life is like an experiment. You can't give up when things go wrong. Look at it on a logical mind that this is just here for you to learn, so you're not going to make the mistakes again, over and over again. Learn and be grateful. You are loved. You have so much love. Open your heart so you can receive it and you don't feel so alone.
Now I'm going to ask the subconscious to receive to where it belongs. With much love and thanks for the help and information it has been giving Cheryl today. I know she's really going to appreciate it. Wide awake, feeling wonderful all over.
Oh. Boy.
How do you feel?
Like I had a long nap.
Good. Can you stop your recording? And
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to email it to me because my recording stopped halfway through.